Are you an aspiring author with a story to tell, but unsure how to create long-term success? I was too. But 15 years in and thousands of books sold, I learned a lot along the way that I want to share with you for free. I got tired of learning hard lessons, and these are things that I wish I knew when I first started as a self-published indie author. Welcome to my channel. My name is AJ McMullen, and I am a sci-fi and fantasy author, writer of Legacy of the Arcane and Flame. Support my channel by subscribing and tapping the thumbs up so that YouTube knows to send this video out to other authors just like you and I. So I did a video that briefly went over how to create long-term success as an indie author, because I come across a lot of individuals who are new, and for some reason they truly believe that all you have to do is write a book and drop it on the internet and somehow you will magically get a silver platter full of money. Though it seems to happen that way for some when the proper principles are applied to their respective careers, the market is just way too saturated for that to be the norm for everybody. For instance, I am a sci-fi author, and sci-fi books are published within the thousands every single year. And if I say so myself, that is a lot of competition to swim through. Instead of immediately trying to make money, my goal should be to stand out amongst the crowd. And you may, in your heart of hearts, actually believe that writing the book is the hardest thing to do in this journey, but I am here to tell you that is far from the truth. I've been writing for 15 years, in the industry for 5, and I was once just like many of you, consistently writing content, but never actually committing to finishing a project. I had imposter syndrome. How could I possibly go from a kid who hated English class in high school to someone who is a best-selling author? It didn't really make sense to me. But I learned that this had nothing to do with how people perceive my books. What really mattered was getting the books finished and making sure that I get them in front of the right people. And who am I getting my book in front of if I never finished a book? Easier said than done, I know, but trust me, every step of becoming a successful author is all about breaking outside of your comfort zone. And the more you do, the more you mold yourself to fit inside the role of a publishing giant. On this video, I'll be giving you 13 principles to follow for long-term success as an author. These are non-negotiables for everyone who's ever picked up a pen, and if done on any scale, will find your book in the right hands and allow you to make a living as an author. As I said in the original video, you are taking on the role and responsibilities of an entire publishing company as an indie author. Chances are, if you're just starting, you were blue collar or white collar or whatever you had a full-time job and you had never done this before. You just always had it in the back of your mind that I've always wanted to write a book. Chances are you do not have a team of people that you can lean on to actually do most of the tasks that need to be done to even publish the book, let alone run an entire publishing company. So with that being said, I'm going to start by breaking down the departments of a hypothetical Fortune 500 publishing company so you can get a good sense of how many tasks need to be involved in order to turn your amateur publishing job into a long-term career. Before I jump into this, grab a pen and take notes on this information. It's easy to put this video on 2x speed and try to multitask. Studies show that 85% of information written down is retained versus the 40% of information retained by those who just listen alone. If you haven't done so already, support this channel by hitting the thumbs up and subscribing to this channel, because I'm about to do a marketing cardinal sin and give you 15 years of experience and not charge a dime for it. No BS. No games. I'm not selling a course. I'm giving you experience for free. All I'm asking for you to do is support the channel. As promised, here is a list of roles and responsibilities that you will need to consider in the business that is your self-publishing career. In the executive level, you have the CEO. That's it. Just the CEO. And you are this by default whenever you decide to write a book. Creative department, you have head of content, writer, developmental editor, and copy editor. See where I'm going with this? Publishing department, you have publishing manager, book designer, production manager, and distribution manager. Marketing and sales department. You have marketing director, PR manager, sales manager, social media manager, and website manager. Finance and administration. You have finance manager, legal counsel, and administrative assistant. And depending on how you plan to proceed in your career, I've added a sixth department because of my vision and goals, the future development department, which consists of film producer, television producer, and merchandise development manager. Now, if you're new to this and have never had a business bone in your body, you may look at this list and say, whoa, that's a lot. But just remember that Fortune 500 means that we are talking about the top 500 companies in the US. You don't need to be efficient to that standard on your own. And if you are striving to a long-term career as an author, you'll probably hire out most of these tasks anyway. But to learn how to implement these positions in your own self-publishing career, head over to my website, ajmcmullen.com, and read the full blog post on these positions and how you can effectively become the company that you wish to hire in the future. Can I tell you the problem with this list? Most amateur authors, we tend to favor the positions that feel the most comfortable. Many of us can sum up our entire careers as it stands in 2 to 3 of these roles and leave the rest dormant because we don't know how to do that or we are not good at stuff like that. Here's the reality. As a self-published author, you are a business owner who is responsible for all of those positions. Why? Because at the executive level, you have the CEO. And what did I tell you earlier? That if you decide to write a book, you are a CEO of your own personal business. And let me break down why that is important. Back when I worked for Amazon, I had an employee ask why Jeff Bezos never actually came to our rinky-dink little location in Virginia. At this time, Jeff Bezos had already given up his CEO position to a man named Andrew Jassy. This person had no clue how business worked and failed to realize that there are a lot of chain of command to reach the CEO. You had me, for starters, his direct manager, my area manager, his operations manager, senior operations manager, all the way up to the general manager. And that's just one building in an entire region of buildings, just like the one that we worked in, inside the entire country, who all reported to somebody who probably reported to Andrew somewhere up the line. And it's a lot of people is what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, all success and failures fall under the CEO, head of the company. If a job needs to get done, whether you personally had to touch it or not is irrelevant. All that matters is that it gets done by any means necessary. Plain and simple, if your goal is to sell 1,000 copies of a book, it is your job as the CEO to figure out how to do it, even if that how requires a lot of who's to get it done. This list of roles and responsibilities are not meant to overwhelm you or overstimulate you. It's just meant to show that this grand scale project can be broken down into individual parts. Remember, inch by inch, anything's a cinch. And now that we've gone over that, let's get into the 13 principles to long-term success as an author. Number 1, develop a consistent writing habit. Discipline here is top priority, especially when it's only you keeping you accountable. You are writing content that many times will not have a proof of concept and no real way of knowing how successful it will really be in the future. No matter how hard you try, you are formulating your spirit that I have plenty of time to get this done and I can work on it later. But take it back to the workplace though. Your boss gives you a task. Can you just say, I have plenty of time to work on this later and just head to the break room and chill for the rest of the day? Some people do this, and depending on where you work, it leads to the same result every time. you get fired. Your boss is trying to show up for his goals and commitments to his boss. And if you are spending time at work, I would hope that you are doing the same. But you need to show up for your commitments and your goals just like you would while you are on the clock. This step is important if you don't have an accountability partner, because none of this can get done if there's no book. Number 2, invest in your improvement. Before I talk about this, I wish I could get into the ability to self-assess. Just being honest, 95% of humans don't have it. It's a little phenomenon called the Dunning-Kruger effect, where one does something in incompetence while believing that they are actually good at what they do. But in writing, you have to always improve on your weaknesses. Every issue you know is there is one opportunity to improve. Of course, we all get blind to our own funk, so you have to pay attention to what people are saying. If someone says something constructive in a review, just go back and fact check it. We would all love to see 5-star reviews for every book we write, but in reality, you are going to see every rating from 1 to 5. Every author does, even those that you admire. So take writing courses, read writing books, and watch videos like this. When I first started, I binge watched videos from Michael Laron, Shaylin Wrights, Jenna Moresi, and Abby Emmons, just to name a few. My favorite way to develop my skill is to challenge myself by using writing aids. Grammarly has this feature where it throws suggestions for sentence structure and tell you why it makes more sense, on a scholastic level, of course. I make sure I think about sentence flow as I'm writing to ensure that Grammarly doesn't give me a ton of suggestions. And anytime I write something, I am striving to get a better score every single time, because it actually scores you for how good you write. In addition, the app also does a lot of other corrective suggestions that tell you about yourself. It even gives you a detailed report every month. This is not a surefire way to self-development as a writer. It is just the way I make myself better as a writer and editor. Number 3, build a strong author platform. I think we have been discussing this the entire time, but just in case I needed to say, this video is about building your author platform. This is your world and everything about you, how people find you and where to interact with you. For instance, you can find AJ McMullen on TikTok, YouTube, and on his website at ajmcmullen.com. Books are available in ebook and paperback anywhere that books are sold. Building these platforms are going to take time, and there's no such thing as perfecting these either, especially the website. If you have one, you know how hard it is to get that thing right, so start as soon as you can. A good placeholder for all these systems until you start selling and getting royalties is a link site. This will be a service like Linktree or Hoobie. Number 4, learn the business of publishing. I went over this earlier in this video, so if you need to know the aspects on the publishing industry and all the positions involved, refer to my blog right here. Number 5, don't solely rely on book sales. This one will be a challenge, but as a creative, you can do it. You should be able to come up with merch pretty easy. Just like I'm doing here, you can start a YouTube channel. You can freelance jobs like editing or ghostwriting. There are even speaking engagements that you can do as well. You are not locked to just book sales. You have to be creative about how you make money. Number 6, network with industry professionals. Just like any other business in the world, being connected to like-minded individuals and those who share similar goals and interests is important to your relevance as an author. If you are a sci-fi or fantasy author, you have no excuse, because getting a table at a comic convention is pretty easy. I have gained the most friends in the industry by simply showing up to conventions and being in the same space. After seeing someone multiple times in different cities and states, you are bound to strike up a conversation at some point, and you will obviously have the same interests, right? But knowing other people and networking could offer different insights and viewpoints on industry-related strategies and offer you a chance to grow by way of osmosis. The people who do this are likely to be able to help you through your publishing problems, opposed to coworkers you confide in that knows nothing about writing or publishing. And if you need more proof that networking is essential, there was a rugby player recently that was so well connected that all he had to do was say, I got a book idea, and he was given a 2-book deal by a publishing company. Instead of complaining about stuff like that, just understand how business actually works and get connected to the right people. Number 7, prioritize reader engagement over profit. There is no doubt that you had to be a semi-decent writer in order to make this a long-term thing, but you don't have to be super prolific. Your biggest goal is to deliver value and make the decision to choose value over profit. A reader who picks up a gripping story they can't put down is one thing. But imagine a reader who is obsessed with your books, resonates with you, and trusts you. How can anyone else win? I made it a goal of mine to reach out to my customers anytime I know that they're a reader and have their personal contact information. Some people are a bit nervous to speak, but we typically end up having a good conversation. And this is for me to make a friend feel valued. It doesn't matter how many sales you make on Amazon, you can make money there, but not friends. Loyal fan base drives long-term sales more than short-term profit chasing. Number 8, plan for long-term projects. If you're a writer working on multiple series, this is a benefit to that. It has been said to me by multiple authors that a backlist of books leads to, it's been said to me by multiple authors that a backlist of books can lead to the generation of passive income over time. Currently, I am working on a 10-book series with a 5-book companion series in a universe that spans about 95 stories afterwards. Will all of them be books? Probably not, but the concept is there to keep readers engaged. Number 9, mastering marketing and promotion. This is a big one because it takes a person to see you an average of 7 times before they decide to buy from you. So making sure your book makes its way in front of them is crucial. Your marketing and advertising department will have to become good at realizing marketing trends and leveraging social media trends. You had to get good at writing blurbs and ad copy. The goal is to maximize the efficiency of the ad because that will get in front of more people quicker than you can do it by yourself. Number 10, embrace resilience and adaptability. Before we move forward here, let me be the first to tell you if nobody else has already. You are going to fail, but you have to stop looking at this as taboo. When people around you say it's hard to be an author, and they think that you are going to fail at this, what they are really telling you is that they think that you are going to fail and not get back up after the hardship inevitably knocks you down. I experienced more failures in my career than successes, and this is only the beginning for me. I've been booed, traveled to conventions and sold no books, lost money on tables, lost shipments of books and merch, and I even had to scrap my original series to make room for the newest series that I just finished writing. You're going to be destroyed, whether it's by readers, sometimes other authors, and certainly if you start querying publishers. I once had a quote that read, "Fail early, fail often, fail fast." Because with every failure, it's an opportunity to learn how to not do something. And eventually, just like Benjamin Franklin, you'll figure out that one way to electrify yourself. So if this hardship is going to happen by default, the only thing you can do to mitigate it is either develop thick skin or get buried in it. The choice is yours. Number 11, manage finances wisely. This is major for those of us who have never had royalties and are spending house money to build our dreams. Keep a running tab of how much things cost and budget things like editing and cover design. I save money by doing the bulk of my own editing and being a graphic designer, but my convention spreadsheet is heavily documented. There were a number of times we overextended going to conventions and lost money because we just didn't plan it correctly. Don't be like me and lose money on conventions if you don't need to. Number 12, stay authentic to your voice. Be the most unique version of you that only you can be. Authenticity will attract readers to you that connect with your unique perspective. Every perspective has a target audience somewhere. Authenticity will attract readers to you that are drawn to your unique perspective, and every perspective has a target audience somewhere. Staying true to who you are is crucial to finding those people who will support you. And number 13, support realistic goals and milestones. Want to speak too much about being realistic about goals because I am the man that has created an entire universe of characters on his own and an entire storyline thinking that I can compete with Marvel on the silver screen. So we're not going to talk about realistic goals, but your goals have to be audacious and set milestones for yourself to reach those particular goals. This should be easy when you start thinking about your different departments, and having a win in each department pushes the entire agenda further along. Your goals have to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. If you need to know how to create SMART goals, visit my website. I have a free ebook there that you can download that goes over SMART goals and how to achieve them. So, I hope that information is valuable to you. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you have a lot of notes, and I look forward to seeing what you are able to do with them. Let me know in the comments which part of the video was more valuable to you and what you plan to do to achieve your goals in the near future. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that this video can be shared with every single person. If you know somebody who will benefit from this information, share it with them and let them get in on this 15 years of experience that I'm dishing out. If you got any questions about this content, I am down to answer anything. Just drop it in the comments or email me at info@ajmcmullen.com and we can talk there. Interested in my book, Legacy of the Arcane and Flame? You can find that in ebook and paperback anywhere that books are sold. That's all I have for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.